Extreme actions happening at 6. A former city employee for both West Palm Beach and Riviera Beach under arrest, accused of threatening to blow up a water treatment plant and setting a vehicle on fire. This is exclusive video of the car from Chopper 5. The threats made by Douglas Ellington forced the evacuation of facilities and offices in both cities.
It's not the first time Ellington has caused problems for the city of West Palm Beach. In the past, he's claimed he's just trying to shed light on safety problems at the sewage plant. News Channel 5's Brian Enton spoke to Ellington last year. Brian's live now at the plant with more. Brian?
Kelly, both West Palm Beach and Riviera Beach city leaders told me they have taken precautions in the past because of Douglas Ellington. In Riviera Beach, they actually alerted employees when Ellington was fired. And in West Palm at City Hall, security officers are told to be on the lookout. But apparently, no one thought that Ellington would end up showing up here. Police tow away Douglas Ellington's car from the West Palm Beach sewage plant. The former city employee has been complaining for years to the city. This could be his latest attempt at getting the city's attention.
Stopped his car and set his car on fire inside the sewage plant.
The city spokesman says Ellington just waited by the burning car for police to come and arrest him.
Mr. Ellington, you need to leave.
Police say Ellington didn't put up a fight when officers hauled him away from a city commission meeting earlier this month. And look at this video from last year when he went willingly after barging past City Hall security and trying to run to the mayor's office.
What was going through my mind was someone is going to look at me from this commission, from this city administration.
That's what Ellington told me after the first time he was arrested. He admitted to me that he was emotional, losing almost everything. He claimed he was fired after witnessing safety violations at the city's sewage plant.
I got fired because I got tired of almost getting killed.
Just last week, Ellington emailed city leaders this picture of the inside of his home, claiming it shows his, quote, family's quality of life loss since his termination. The city spokesman says Ellington has been on the city's radar.
City Hall security was well aware of him. Up until this point, all of his contact was with people at City Hall. So we did not put out any kind of a we have hundreds of properties, so it wasn't the kind of thing where there was any indication that there was anything involving the sewage plant.
So an interesting side note here, according to court records, Ellington has never been arrested or in any kind of legal trouble until he was fired by West Palm Beach a few years ago. I spoke with the city manager. He says ultimately that termination happened because Ellington did not show up to disciplinary hearings. Live in West Palm Beach, Brian Enton, WPTV News Channel 5.
Tonight, we have also learned more from Ellington's personnel file from both Riviera and West Palm Beach. Ellington worked as an electrician in Riviera Beach until he was fired just 2 weeks ago. The file shows Ellington was suspended twice, back in September, again in November, after taking vacation days without approval. Then in December, cited for insubordination and placed on paid administrative leave on December 9th. Ellington was hired by the city of West Palm Beach back in 2007. He was also cited for insubordination there in November 2011, fired a month later after failing to report for work.
We're hearing more about what kind of person Ellington is from a man who says he's known him for 20 years. News Channel 5's Jacqueline Powell is live in Lake Park outside of Ellington's house with what we've learned tonight about his home life. Jacqueline?
Deputies and police cars were lined up along this street right in front of Ellington's house here this morning as they searched for his home through a couple of hours. They were looking for anything suspicious. Afterward, PBSO told me that they didn't end up finding anything, but still all of the commotion out here today has really had neighbors talking.
He's not that type of guy.
Shelby Lowe says he's known Douglas Ellington for 20 years. They're next door neighbors and they've gotten close over time. Lowe describes the man who lives here as friendly, always helpful, and a hard worker. But he says for the past few years, Ellington has complained about what he described to him as injustice at West Palm Beach's water treatment plant, saying Ellington kept feeling worse and worse about what happened. And Shelby thinks Ellington reached a breaking point.
Like I said, family guy, raised 2 good kids, and just happened to run into a bad situation, and I just pray that he gets help and that everything turns out for him and his family.
We've tried reaching out to Ellington's family members. There have also been a couple of people inside of this house here today. We've knocked. No one has wanted to talk to us so far or give a statement about what happened. Reporting live in Lake Park, Jacqueline Powell, WPTV News Channel 5.